It's the continuation of the budget defense session at the National Assembly. The Nigerian Army is before the Senate Committee on Army to present its 2018 budget. The Army Chief proposes the sum of 233.05 billion naira for its 2018 budget estimates.
The Nigerian Army is saddled with unpaid allowances such as ration, cash allowance, medical and cost allowances, among others. However, this was 100% released. In preparation for 2018 budget, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Budget and National Planning proposed the total sum of 233.05 billion naira only. However, the Nigerian Army is requesting for the sum of 261.67 billion naira only.
Detailing the Army's needs in wartime, the Army Chief asserts that a total of 39.8 billion naira would better cater for the capital component, adding that the money would be used to procure drones and additional arms and ammunition. In response, the Vice Chairman of the committee, Senator Ibrahim Dambaba, says it is lamentable that funds for the Army to address security challenges which border on the territorial integrity of the country are not fully released.
The inadequate budgetary allocation, subsisting envelope budget system and partial release of funds have negatively affected the Nigerian Army towards achieving utmost secured environment for the citizenry. We are intending to procure drones and then establish aerial reconnaissance center or aerial intelligence center for the Nigerian Army at the sum of 2.05 billion. We also have the rehabilitation of Nigerian Army barracks across the 6 geopolitical zones, about 5 billion naira.
Where we have so much challenges in terms of even territorial integrity of this country. For the government not to be releasing funds, meager funds that were made available in the budget. In spite of that, it's shocking to know that only 42% of that has been released.
As the nation fights internal security threats, funding on this day proved central to discussions around how ultimate success might be achieved.
Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, let's get Nata to continue with his line of questioning.
Okay, Mr. Gilford, well, I said off camera that you landed where I wanted. Now, the thing is, the ECA is considered illegal. So, you're doing an illegal act in an illegal environment. Two wrongs don't make a right. So where do we go from there?
Well, you see, in law, you cannot put something on nothing. I think before money is withdrawn from that ECA, government should have waited for the determination of that suit, challenging the illegality of the ECA. I'm aware that the case is in court, and the National Assembly has questioned the constitutionality of the ECA. And I remember one Govt too has gone to court that this money is being controlled by 3 tiers of government, and one arm of government cannot just on its own appropriate the money. So we have a problem, and these are unnecessary diversions, because it's going to heat up the polity again. People who are for and against the withdrawal of the money, not the intent of what the money is meant for. So we have some challenges now.
You know, when you, what Nyota raised, the National Assembly has come out very clearly that in their estimation that the account is illegal. Do you believe that, or how do you think that defines, rather, you know, the new position, which is essentially that we should be the ones giving approval for this money, even though we are essentially agreeing that this is an illegal account? Is there no contradiction there?
The National Assembly ordinarily wouldn't give approval for such money because they have questioned the legality of that fund. So if they give any approval, the action too becomes illegal. So that's what I'm saying, that we are going to see a lot of the frustrated relationship between the executive and the legislature is going to be rekindled. And we're going to an election year. We have a lot of crises in our hand. All these things are not necessary. And I believe that these issues can be better handled through negotiations and dialogue.
Very quickly, we know that when we spoke with the defense spokesman a few months back, we were talking about, this was around the time that the announcement came from the governors and the vice president that under the guise of the National Economic Council, that these funds were coming out of the ECA. The defense spokesman said that the $1 billion was going to be used for the procurement of 12 Super Tucano fighter jets from the U.S. at the cost of $593 million, and that the extra $407 million would now be spent on funding police equipment and other equipments for the intelligence agencies. Given that, do you believe that that is cogent enough, or do you believe that there's still something underlying when we talk about the campaign season coming up?
Well, I don't know anything about the campaign or funding of police. People are free to have their opinions. But the issue is, I want to insist and maintain and advise government that the money should be spent for what it is meant for. There's no problem if we get, like you talk about the 12 Tucano. I remember I had an interview with this thing. I mentioned it, that government needs money to fight this insurgency. Don't forget that it is not also the Boko Haram that we are facing in the northeast. We have Fulani Hezbollah, which has now become more dangerous than Boko Haram, where people are being killed in all parts of the country. So we need to also encourage government, but I insist that the spending must be monitored and ensured. A tree does not make a forest. Nobody has questioned the integrity of Mr. President. Nobody has. But what about the people around him?
Let's see what Gimba has. Maybe it's the same line of questioning this time. Gimba.
Thank you, Chamberlain. It's the same line of questioning, really, and my question goes to Mr. Mike Ejiofor. I'm wondering, because you are hopeful that these monies will be used for what they are meant to be used, even though it's not really clear to that point where we have a kobo by kobo utilization of that funds. But do you think that the welfare of the gallant soldiers who are out there fighting this insurgency against Boko Haram, how much of their welfare is